Friday. North Texas head coach Seth Littrell joins us. Sick on 365 Radio, 365 Sports. Paul Catalina, David and Craig Smoak. Are you ramped up? Is there a time during the summer when you think it's all go, green light, football is here?
Yeah, absolutely. We get a little time there in July as a staff to get away and see our families and, take some time off. But once you get back, kind of after that, and then, the Texas High School Coaches Association ramps up. You go down, talk a lot of ball, and get back into office and start getting cranked up. That's about that time. We all know it's right around the corner, and with us playing week 0, it's going to come pretty quick on us.
Where do you see you guys close the year with a lot of momentum, winning a lot of games, and your team really kind of locked in and picked up what you were saying to them? Where's the line of where you carry that over and also where you start a new season where those games don't matter anymore?
Well, every year's a new, just because what we did in the past and or in years past, every year you have to reset and, make sure you create a new identity to who you are as a football program. Make sure your core values and your culture is most important, and you're fitting into that, and you're really working towards that as the winter, spring, and summer sessions begin. The biggest thing is find different ways, making sure we find our identity, who we are as a football team, and having a really good fall camp. Our kids, our culture is as good as it's been. I feel like we're as healthy as we've been in a long time, and our depth is good. So I'm really excited about this group. They work hard together, pull the rope in the same direction, and they work extremely hard to put themselves in position for a really good fall camp.
Coach, you mentioned the Texas High School Coaches Association event last week. What's it like to be a part of that? I don't think that's something that every state really has. It's something that's sort of unique to us. But what's it like to be around that many coaches and exchanging ideas, picking up on things? How would you describe that event?
It's an awesome event. I'll tell you what, the numbers have really even grown this year. I think they set a record this year on coaches that came, and it's always awesome. It's the best. There's no doubt in my mind. It's the best associating in the country. With what they do and how they do things. There's a straight line communication with everyone. These are the rules. This is how we play by the rules. Everybody's on the same page, and this is what happens when you don't do it. But I'll tell you what, a lot of different topics you talk about. They do a phenomenal job meeting with us as not only the high school coaches, but the college coaches and bounce ideas off each other. It's been a lot of fun. It's very organized, and that's the reason why it's the best association in the country.
Seth Littrell, North Texas head football coach with us, Sikkim 365 Radio, 365 Sports. So we had a writer on about a month ago who had sat down and was doing a feature about a few things, and probably featuring you as well. He said nothing gets your face turning a little bit red and maybe you start, your jaw starts grinding a little bit than bringing up the transfer portal and tampering. You guys have been, well, we know. We've seen it happen. Luckily, your linebacker came back, thank God. But where are we at with all that, Seth?
Well, the transfer portal is what it is. We all have to, as coaches, learn how to adapt and learn how to, go new with the times. I mean, every coach has to deal with it. So as long as everybody is having to, deal with the same things, that's fine with me. I think it's about student athletes. I'm not against the transfer portal whatsoever. I just think that guys need to play by the same rules, and the tampering aspect is where it gets difficult. And, there's one thing with me. I'm going to do things the right way. I wouldn't be able to lay my head on the pillow feeling like I hurt someone else's program, one, by tampering, and two, I'm not going to do illegal things. And so, there's a lot of guys out there that'll do anything willing to, help their program. And at the end of the day, and until someone gets really popped for it, guys are probably going to continue to do it. I just feel like, with who I am, who our staff is, there's one thing with me. We're going to do things the right way. We're going to coach our guys up and listen. If the portal helps some of these kids and they're not where they want to be, or they're not getting the playing time they feel like they deserve, and they want to, start fresh, I'm all for it. And, it works for us just as well. We found a lot of great guys out of the portal as well, and guys that we feel like can fit in our system, fit in our culture, and be good for our football team. So it's a two-way street. The biggest thing is just kind of the rules around how to go about the portal and doing it the right way.
You're going to join another conference next year. We see this landscape changing all the time. Oklahoma, Texas, and USC, UCLA. Is that make coming up Wednesday anything at all awkward Wednesday at the media days?
I don't feel so. At the end of the day, it's the decisions are made from the top, way bigger than me. Obviously we're transitioning to AAC this next season. But right now we're in Conference USA, and that's really what I'm focused on. That's what our guys are focused on. I'm not, that's a year away. Obviously, the athletic directors and the presidents, they're making preparations for the transition. It's my job to go out there and win football games. And so that's really what I'm focused in on. So it's not awkward to me. I still have a lot of great relationships in the Conference USA with coaches, the administration. And so it's always good to get back and get around those guys. And there's a lot of great coaches, a lot of great players in Conference USA, and we're really excited about going out there and competing and hopefully winning some games this year.
Coach, how do you feel about the transfer rules that they proposed recently at the D1 Council, where kids can transfer as much as they want without waivers, but there are windows. So in one regard, it makes it easier for you guys that you have a window, and then another regard, it makes it kind of nuts because now you have to recruit your roster even deeper every year.
Well, that's something that you're going to have to do anyway with the transfer portal. I believe, this profession is still about relationships. You got to make sure that you build great relationships with the men you have on your football team, whether that's coaches or players. I think by far and away, that's one of the most important aspects of it. So whatever rules they make, hey, listen, I let all these smart people make all the different changes and rules and whatever. The thing I always do is say, we're going to, whatever they come up with, that's what we're going to live by. And as long as everybody has to live by the same rules, I'm all for it. And if it helps the student athlete, if it's best for our game for it to go that way, great. I'm all for it. If I sit and worry about every different rule that's coming up right now, I'll drive myself crazy. So tell me what they are and let's go play by them.
Man, amen. Amen. I get tired of talking about him as a media guy. I can't imagine as a coach actually having to deal with him all of the time. But, Coach, you do have your media days coming up. What do you think is going to be the big talking points for you and your player reps, Katie Davis and Jake Roberts? What do you think is just kind of be the theme this year for North Texas football?
I think the biggest thing is, again, culture with me is huge, continuing to have a strong culture. And then, the biggest things that we got to do is make sure we're all in. We got to stay healthy. I think we have a lot of depth at a lot of different positions. It's been awesome. Last year it was frustrating. Obviously, we had a lot of injuries, but with any frustration, there's going to be some positives that come out of it, which were a lot of young guys got a ton of reps, a lot of experience. And so, I feel like we're going to have an experienced football team this fall. The biggest thing is just playing smart. We got to stay healthy and find our true identity as a football team. We had to change it a little bit this last year. We're a little bit more spread up tempo. But we really got really thin at the wide receiver position. So we went more 12 personnel and, kind of found our niche and running the rock and playing good defense and then taking our shots over the top. And it worked out well for us down the stretch. So, I think the biggest thing is just finding our biggest strengths, recognizing what our weaknesses are and playing good team football.
Did you get a chance at all? You mentioned a little bit of a sliver of time in July. Did you get a chance to go do something that just took you away from everything? I know you can't, but did you get away at all, just away from football?
I did. We actually took a huge family vacation. There was like 18 or 20 of us. We went to Baja Mar and got to hang out with the young kids. I got obviously my kids and nieces, nephews, and they're from anywhere from 9 to 22. And so it was a great place to where we could all go out and hang out and kind of get away from ball. And there was a lot of different things for all ages of that group to do. So it was a really cool trip. It's always fun. We're a big family. I think that's who we are. That's how we were raised. It's a very tight-knit group, and it's always good to get away a little bit and take your mind off ball.
You were the team captain of the 2000 National Championship team at Oklahoma. One, that's amazing. Two, of course, they had the incredible run. Heupel at quarterback. Stoops' second year, I think it was. What did you see? How did that happen? What did you see where everything just flipped so quickly and Oklahoma got back at the top?
Well, I think a couple of things. One, we had a great coaching staff. We had talented players, but, Coach Stoops and his staff brought in a lot of confidence. And then it really just showed me, and you think about from my freshman to my senior year, going, I think it was 3-8. I forget the exact numbers, but winning 3 games to our last year winning 13 games. I think the biggest difference in that locker room was 4 to 5 guys that could actually tear down a locker room and kind of divide a locker room to where there wasn't great continuity. And then when Coach Stoops and his staff got in, it's really 4 to 5 guys that bring everybody together, and a coaching staff that brings confidence, and everybody's pulling the rope in the same direction. I think it's a very fine line. There's not a ton of, from being 7-5 to 13-0. It's just a couple things. And so, but I'll tell you what, we had a lot of talent. We weren't the most talented football teams, in my opinion. We were the best team overall in that season because we played well together. We had some of the breaks go our way throughout the season, which I feel like comes within your preparation. I think that helps get you those breaks. And we just played well together. We played hard. We had a lot of fun with each other, but I think just it was no offense, defense. It was all together, pulling the rope, and special teams, and we did everything we had to do to go win football games.
Seth, thank you very much. Good luck. We appreciate it. Lots of former Baylor players, coaches, and others on your staff. I know that you have to kind of muzzle. Do you sometimes just have to duct tape Phil Bennett's mouth?
That guy's full of energy. I'll tell you what, it's a blessing to have him. I'll tell you the amount of energy he has, the way he can relate to our men, it's unbelievable. And then him and Gush, and then along with that defensive staff. Mm-hmm. And you're right, we have quite a bit of Baylor guys here, but they do a great job. I think this is our best staff we've had since I've been here, and we're having a lot of fun together.
Good luck. You guys had a great run at the end. Huge win against UTSA, and thanks for your time, Seth. We appreciate it.
Appreciate you having me on. Thank you.
Yep. Seth Littrell, head coach at North Texas Conference USA. They'll join the American Conference. There's another one, by the way, that there's that doesn't even get much attention because American had to make up for losing 3 of their teams, and that one of them will be North Texas.